So let's start with the first interview with Nick Henney, CEO of the award-winning media company 323 Media. They've had clients such as Disney, Allstate, Volkswagen, and more. Here's Nick Henney, everyone. So Nick, what inspired you to start 323 Media?
I started doing video work when I was 15 in high school. I was lucky enough that my high school had a high school TV station. And so I was playing with video for a really long time before I was able to make 323 a realization. I always wanted to do video full time, as I always said it. And people said, what does that mean? And I said, I don't really know yet. And then when I graduated college, I got really lucky and got hooked up very quickly with a large agency out of Philadelphia, and started making videos really quickly for national clients like Disney, eBay, American Express, and so on. And so from that point, it just became a business out of luck, kind of,
Yeah. And where did the name 323 Media come from?
323. So in college, I had an apartment on the second floor in a building in Columbia City. And in order to get to my apartment, you had to go through 3 doors and up 23 steps to get to my apartment. So 323. So my cousin one day said that it's really cool and you should name your company 323 Media. And so that's what I did. Interesting side note is that 323 is also the area code for the greater Los Angeles area. And I didn't know that at the time, but I've actually gotten some work because people think I'm based out of LA.
Oh yeah, that's funny. And how did big companies like Disney, Allstate, and Volkswagen hear about your company?
Okay, yeah. So when I was in college, I started working for a local Fort Wayne company called Aptera. They're no longer around, but I got hired as their video guy. They were an up-and-coming website building company, and they wanted to put video on websites, which was like this new thing because that's how old I am. And so I was working with them, making videos for all these different websites, and using their equipment. The owner of the company was really cool and let me use his equipment. And that was the first generation Canon 7D DSLR cameras. It was unbelievable. And so we were using very affordable cameras to make very affordable videos. And one day, a friend at IPFW, the college I went to, was looking at this website, and he said it's called Pop Tent. It stands for popular content, and they put you in touch with real brands. He was looking at a Butterfinger commercial, and he was making a commercial for Butterfinger. And so I was like, I can do that. That sounds awesome. So a buddy of mine put together a couple videos, and on July 7th of 2011, I sold my first commercial to a national brand, and that was PayPal. I invented a character called Patron 3000, and we made like a big cardboard costume covered in aluminum foil and reflectors and painted his face silver. And we made Patron 3000 commercials, and we sold those to Patron. We sold those to PayPal. And then that was our first sale with this agency that hooked people up called Pop Tent. And then for the next 3 months, we sold at least 2 commercials a month for the next 3 months. And we very quickly became their top seller. And so we got to work with a lot of, and we didn't work directly with the brands, which was actually kind of great. We lived in Columbia City, Indiana, and we lived in the middle of nowhere. We're these small town guys. And we just dealt with Pop Tent out of Philadelphia. And then Pop Tent dealt with all of the big brands and all of the weird changes and requests. And it was really fun because the people in Philadelphia were cool. We got to go out there and meet them a bunch. And we got to say that we worked with Dole. We got to work with Build-A-Bear on the launch of a new bear. We got to work with Billy Blanks, which is a guy that you probably don't know, but your teacher might. He was an infomercial Tybo workout guy in the 90s. Let's see, what else do we get to do? We got to travel just all over the country and just make really funny videos.
That's pretty cool, yeah. What's your favorite project you've worked on?
You asked me that earlier. I've been trying to think about it. It's probably the project where we got to go to Napa Valley. It's in Northern California for a whole week. and we got to just live the rich and famous lifestyle. We got to go to all the best restaurants and drink wine and go to see shows, but we had to film the whole way along. But that was almost even cooler because we got to see behind the scenes. We got to go behind where other people couldn't go into wineries and see how it was all done. We got to go out into the vineyards and fly drones around in the most beautiful landscape in America. And then on the way to the airport, we had time to stop into the redwood forest and see the redwoods for the first time. I got to see the Golden Gate Bridge, just places that a kid from Columbia City never thought he would go. And I got to go there just because of my camera.
That's pretty cool, yeah. What current projects are you working on? Like, I know you have True Metal Grilling. Is there anything like else?
Yeah, right now with 323 Media, we're working with a couple clients, and we're actually getting into marketing and becoming a full agency. But videos right now, I have a really fun series of videos coming out called We Are the Water People. And I'm getting to work on that with Max, where he's doing the animation of the water people, and I'm doing the live filming. I'm working with a home inspector. I'm doing a fun series of videos with him. Man. Oh, I also work with another client, trucking client. So I'm making video content for their trade show booth. And they've got 3 giant monitors that I convinced them to buy. And there'll be 2 monitors mounted vertically on the side, like rear view mirrors, and 1 monitor in the front, like a regular TV. And it'll look like a semi-truck driving down the road. So I have to find a semi-truck manufacturer nearby. I have to convince them to let me borrow or rent a semi-truck for a day and hook all my camera equipment to it in a safe enough manner to drive it down the highway to gather high definition footage to be able to put on. And I've never done that before. So,
oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see that. What is the typical process of creating a project from the idea to hitting the export button?
Yeah, you ask the client a million questions. You just keep asking them questions. Why do you want to make this video? What is the purpose of this video? What message are you trying to get across? Who's your audience? What do you want them to do? What's the purpose of this video? You just keep asking those questions. So you finally get down to a call to action. Click this button, sign up for a free something, come to my restaurant, whatever it is. You got to figure out what the end goal of this video is. And then you just start having fun with it. You start talking to your family, you start talking to friends, you start writing stuff out. Typically you'll have that inspiration moment of like, oh, it'd be funny.
Yeah.
And then that leads into whatever the video is, or, it'd be fun, or, oh, how we could do that. And then a good collaborator will say that to their client and then hear what the client says back and be able to change your idea to mold their vision. You don't just hold on to your idea, you mold to their vision and their purpose. Yeah, and then you have to look around and see what's actually possible. I had a video teacher once that said, besides no swearing and no violence, there's also no helicopter scenes and no explosions. Oh, why? Because we don't have helicopters and we don't have explosions. So you have to write scenes that you can actually film. No car chases, no gunfights. You have to actually think what's possible, and then you have to think who's available. I have a stable of actors in Fort Wayne and surrounding areas of, who's best for this role. When I write this, who do I see playing this part? You make sure that their schedules line up, because most of these people do this part-time.
Yeah.
They're aspiring actors or they're part-time actors, so you have to work around their work schedules, and then you film it, and then you bring it home and you edit it down, you send it to the client, they like it or don't, you change it around, you hit export, and sometimes that's as little as 24 hours. Sometimes that's as long as 6 months. I just got done working with the Embassy Theater on a project that's been going for a little over 6 months now.
Wow.
And we just finally got it to a point where we can call it done.
What is the best piece of advice you've received?
I've received? When I first started selling all of those videos to big clients, and I thought I was making so much money, I was going to go buy all the equipment. I was going to buy all the cameras and all the lenses and all the everything. And I just happened to be at one of my friend's house, and his accountant was there, and he was listening to me tell the story. And he said, why would you do that? And I said, because I want a camera. I want it to be mine. And he's like, but you have a camera from your work and you're using that and making money and everything seems to be working. Well, yeah. And he said, do you have $10,000 in the bank? And I said, no. He said, don't make any moves until you have $10,000 in the bank. Don't just go waste your money. And I've tried to take that into all my productions too. A lot of my productions, I make sure my actors are very, very well paid, but I also don't overcharge my clients. And so that little piece of money advice has stuck with me a lot, of just be smart with your budgets, be smart with your finances, and you'll go a lot farther than trying to be big and flashy right out of the gate.
Yeah. And what advice, like on the flip side, would you give to young filmmakers?
Just make videos. Just keep going and making them. It's great to study them. It's great to talk about them. But if you really want to make videos, just go make them. Just go have fun and make them with your friends. Find the other people who want to make those and make them with them, and just have as much fun as you can while you can before you have to make money with it.
And where can people find you, like social media, your website, YouTube, etc.?
I try to have people not find me. I hang out in the woods. No, I'm just kidding. 323media.net is my website. And then I'm 323 Media on Facebook, because I am that old. And that's about it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, man. Talk to you later.
Yeah, talk to you soon.